Hello there, and welcome back to Master Detective Archives. So, the only possible phantoms in our way is probably going to be Yomi Hellsmile, right? I mean, there's no other peacekeeper. Well, name one anyway.
Huh? I wish they wouldn't spring out of nowhere like that.
I thought this labyrinth would only require your wits, but it looks like it's going to take more than that, Yuma.
Well, he doesn't have a whole lot of wits, so he doesn't have a choice.
So that's different.
Huh? Why didn't a problem appear?
Not only was there no problem, no choice appeared either. Master, maybe you don't even know which mystery to start with to solve this case.
Yeah, there's so many unknowns. I'm honestly feeling lost right now.
I see.
Come on! You gotta know where to start with this stuff, or you won't be able to solve a single thing. Let's decide that for now. What's the first mystery of this case?
The first mystery is the fact that Dr. Weska was murdered in a completely locked room with no way in or out. The doctor was located deep in the critical lab, behind layers of security. And yet, he was found stabbed to death. We were the first to discover the body. At the time, we were controlling the robot, Amapel. Because of that, we were thought to be the culprits. But we obviously aren't. So how did the culprit get in and out of the doctor's lab? That's what I don't know.
But the culprit is definitely the hitman, right?
I think so, but I'm not absolutely sure. Besides, even if the hitman did it, there's the question of who hired him. But there's no doubt the hitman stabbed Chief Yako. That's the only thing I'm absolutely certain about.
What?
Peacekeepers?
Kanai Ward's garbage. What are you doing here?
Yomi Hellsmile.
So the director of the Peacekeepers is here.
Yeah, but he's just part of the Mystery Labyrinth.
I figured. In other words, he's a monster created from the labyrinth, right?
Right.
You pieces of shit.
Wow.
You're disturbing the peace of Kanai Ward!
Hello, Lucifer. What the frick?
This guy doesn't seem like an easy opponent.
But we have no choice. For Chief Yako, for everyone.
You killed Dr. Weska, didn't you? Turn yourselves in so I can torture you to death!
I must say that is actually a pretty cool design. Like literally, that is something you should find being fought as a boss in an RPG. Actually, it would be funny to have mobs like this as well. Like that'd be the coolest normal encounter ever. Let's see.
You're the one.
What do I have to work with? Security log show this disorder. 90 the prevention of the forces what is managed program. So regular gas ones
Ones who killed Dr. Weska.
Oh god!
You disarmed the security system to the doctor's lab.
Actually no, he is correct on that one.
And then murdered him inside.
Oh, I can do that. Oi!
Until you actually entered the lab. The security system for the critical lab stayed. Active. It's impossible to bypass the system while it's active.
Oi!
In other words, no one can enter the doctor's lab. There couldn't be an intruder.
This is the truth! When the body was first discovered, Amapal was about to enter the doctor's lab, but something bumped into it and knocked it over.
Actually, stepped on it would be more appropriate.
In fact, there was a mark on Amapal's head, like someone kicked it. That mark wasn't there when we borrowed it. It's proof that someone else was in the lab.
You call that evidence? Is bullshit the only thing that comes out of that mouth?
Seriously? Well, at least you're putting up
Don't
a
make
fight.
me laugh.
Oh god. Oh god. Oh shit!
Shit! There was an intruder? That's impossible! And in fact, you proved that yourself!
Damn!
Get him!
Don't make me laugh! Shit! There was an intruder? That's impossible! And in fact, you proved that yourself!
Hey, I press X! What the heck?
Damn!
What the heck,
make
game?
me
I
laugh.
press X!
Shit! There was an intruder? That's impossible! And in fact, you proved that yourself!
That claim doesn't hold up! What do you mean? We proved there wasn't an intruder!
You still don't understand? Don't make me laugh!
Are you... Sure, why not?
If
Let's see, what would be the most likely answer here? A floor plan is supposed to return...
there was another intruder, then where did they go? By the time you arrived at the scene, there was no one else, right?
Yikes!
There's no place to hide in the critical lab.
Isn't?
There's no way they got past you. Or are you saying they slipped away and you missed it? That's obviously impossible! Isn't that funny? You just proved you committed the crime!
Right.
What does that mean?
Oh, okay, so now I know
If
where
there
I'm
was
supposed
another
to-
intruder, then where did they go? By the time you arrived at the scene, there was no one else, right? There's no place to hide in the critical lab.
What?
Say,
Speaking of which...
Wait, what? Do I have the wrong solution key? Ah, okay, I do have the wrong
If there
solution
was
key. Never
another
mind.
intruder-
That's my bad. I wasn't paying proper attention.
Then where did they go?
Yeah, that's my bad.
By the time you arrived at the scene, There was no one else, right? There's no place to hide in the critical lab.
I'll slash through this mystery. There's a hiding spot. It's inside the airlock's decontamination device. The vent cover can be easily removed, and there's just enough space for someone to fit inside. If they hid inside the decontamination device, we wouldn't have seen them when we arrived at the scene.
So what? You've got it all wrong anyway. Everything is wrong. Your existence is all wrong. Have fun chasing that fake truth you found.
I can't wait to wipe that smug smirk off your face. Also, that attitude doesn't help. It really makes me want to kick your ass. A two-pronged
We
mystery
managed to
then.
defeat him this time, but it's not over yet.
He sure is persistent, huh?
Anyway, there's no doubt someone else was inside the doctor's lab. So let's unravel each mystery one at a time.
All right, we'll get it this time.
Come on, why does it have to be so sudden?
Okay, now that we've wedged our way into this mystery, we just gotta head through the labyrinth and reach the truth!
Actually, what do you have to say, Vivia? I do not know.
Right here!
Right here! Right now!
We're just now getting to the point? What a pain.
Hey, don't sigh, this is a good thing!
Sorry.
Anyway, let's head inside.
There was an intruder for sure. We know someone bumped into Amapal.
The culprit probably hit Amapal on their way out. After that, they must have intended to leave the lab, but they couldn't because we were in the front chamber. So they hid inside the decontamination device to avoid us.
So, if you checked inside the decontamination device on the way to the scene, you would have caught the culprit then and there.
Yeah, but it was an emergency and we had no idea they were in there.
It's super lame to make up excuses, Master.
I don't know, I mean, it's a legitimate reason, though.
It's not an excuse, but it is true. If I had thought about why Amapal was knocked over at that time, I would have realized the culprit was in there. We could have waited in ambush or searched for them. And if I'd caught the culprit then, Chief Yako wouldn't have gotten stabbed.
Master, wallowing in regret is even lamer. If you have time for that, you have time to keep going.
Right.
That's what I'm doing, aren't I?
Really? Another fork in the path.
How did the culprit enter the lab?
Seems like we're finally at the central question. This is the first step to solving how the culprit committed an impossible murder.
I leave the rest to you. I'm going to read a book or something.
You can bring your own stuff into the mystery labyrinth?
He's just special.
He's just special. I highly doubt this is the right answer. This is the only one that makes sense though, because it wasn't deactivated.
Right here!
Culprit never entered? But you said there's no doubt the culprit was in there.
Perhaps the intruder is not the culprit after all.
So you're saying that the doctor committed suicide? If the doctor committed suicide, then the culprit wasn't the intruder, but the doctor himself.
But if the doctor did it, there would be no intruder. The doctor was already in the lab.
Huh? A trap?
Guess you were wrong, Yuma. Well, I already knew that before you entered.
What? Why didn't you tell me?
You wanted me to tell you? You should have said so earlier. People only grow by learning from past mistakes, which is why I purposely...
Master, we have to get out of here!
What the heck?
Use logic to show how this route is the wrong one!
All right, I'll try.
What? What are those?
That one step would have indicated that he held the knife in place, then fell on it to kill himself. But he couldn't have made 3 wounds like that. There's no way it was a suicide.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say I need to
Well,
explore
I
all of
may have
them.
messed up, but at least we got a little closer to the truth.
Maybe, but if you hadn't messed up in the first place, you wouldn't have to come up with such a lame excuse.
I know. I'll do better next time.
Hmm.
Right here!
Yeah, I'm sure of it now. I have to go through all of them to get to the right answer. Just like what happened with
The doctor
the theater.
invited the culprit in? But why?
Things are so muddled now because we're assuming the culprit forced their way inside. If the culprit was invited to the lab, then he easily would have been able to enter.
So you think the doctor disabled the security? He wouldn't need it if he was expecting a guest.
But he never disabled it is the problem. So this is wrong as well.
Huh? This route is wrong too? Again?
No need to worry, Yuma. I don't mind it at all if we can't find a way to move forward.
Sheesh. Even I'm losing motivation. You can take care of this on your own, can't you, Master?
What the?
Let him influence you!
Don't let him influence you! Alright then. Why is invited him not correct? Security log.
The log on the doctor's computer didn't show any signs of security getting shut down. If that's the case, he certainly didn't cut security just to let someone in.
No excuses, Master. Do it again.
You're tired, Yuma. Why don't you lie down for a bit?
Resting here wouldn't help me at all.
Why does the hallway have to be so damn long?
Right here!
The culprit used the blackout to slip past security and into the lab. That answer is pretty simple. Almost too simple.
Huh? What? This was the last route!
This labyrinth is a tricky one. It's like one of those old detective novels. Perhaps you're the real culprit, Yuma.
Hell no!
Really, Master?
Are you serious right now?
Of course not! Focus, we need to get out of here!
I really love those bouncing statues. It's just so funny.
The doctor said the critical lab was on a separate grid, and the lab switchboard wasn't in the electrical room. The security wouldn't shut off, even if there was a blackout in the building.
Perhaps we need to change the question.
What's going on? Were all 3 routes wrong?
I wonder what it means.
It's the same deal with the Terry Academy one. We probably have to look at it from a different perspective. Either that or coalesce the answers from each one to create one new solution or conclusion. Oh.
Hey!
Okay.
There's another door!
I get it! Since we proved that every possibility was wrong, a new one has appeared.
Okay.
Interesting. The mystery labyrinth not only materializes the case, but also changes based on your investigation.
Right. Something felt off about those other routes. It's almost like we were forced to choose the wrong way.
But by eliminating each wrong answer one by one, you opened the path to the right answer.
You sound disappointed.
Who cares? Let's just see what's in the final route!
They use spectral projection to enter and kill him?
What?
Then... I can't believe the culprit entered the labyrinth with us. That's never happened before.
That's impossible. They can't interact with the physical though.
Dare you trick me! There is no escape! Once the mystery labyrinth is solved, the culprit will be judged! Master, let's finish up this mystery labyrinth and boom kill this dude!
Hold on!
This is definitely wrong. Also, why would this even be taken into consideration?
Huh? Another map?
That's why I said to wait! There's no way Vivia's the culprit!
Then... prove it and beat this thing!
Why are there more of them?
I won't be convinced until you do!
To begin with, nothing can be touched while in ghost form. He couldn't have held the murder weapon, the knife. So it's not possible that he stabbed the doctor. Now do you trust Vivia?
Master, I've said this 1,000 times, but a detective must suspect everything. Besides, it's his fault for being so sketchy. The way he looks, how he talks, everything is super suspicious.
Sorry. I do try to stay out of sight.
Anyway, let's go back.
Fifth door now? Or do we just
If
change the
he's not the
question?
culprit, then we're back to square one.
Let's try going back to the fork in the path. Maybe something else changed. Nothing's changed.
There aren't any new doors. What? There's nowhere to go? What was the point of eliminating all the other paths?
Come.
Don't start with that again. How about you help us for a change? You better cooperate, unless you want to get chopped up by Master Solution Blade.
Hold on, Shinigami.
I don't want to get chopped up. I dislike pain. Immensely.
I agree.
But you know, The journey up to now wasn't a waste. We did eliminate many possibilities.
But that means nothing if we can't reach the truth.
Nothing? Why do you want the truth in the first place?
Huh?
It's easy to say you want the truth. But are you sure you can handle it? No matter how cruel that truth may be?
Can I handle it?
I'm still not sure if you're the kind of person who can. I bet you're not sure either. That's why you're still so hesitant. This mystery labyrinth also reflects your reluctance. Maybe that's why you can't reach the truth.
What are you talking about? I've said it before and I'll say it again. I won't hesitate to expose the truth.
So you still haven't realized it? Guess you're not quite there yet. Well, that's fine for now. But eventually, you'll be forced to make a choice. When that happens, you have to prove your conviction and expose the truth, like you said.
Okay, this is starting to become very worrisome. With the way Vivia's saying, that means the culprit is probably somebody close to the agency then. Was it the chief?
Enough nonsense. Let's find some clues.
As an apology for the distraction, let me tell you something. This labyrinth appears to change shape by reflecting our investigation. So, instead of following the revealed path, isn't it possible to carve your own path?
Carve my own path? That's right, Shinigami! We can create new routes with our own deductions. Maybe we can do it here.
Sometimes, just a slight change in perspective is enough to completely change how you see things.
Well, shall we fly then?
So if I change my perspective here, I might see something new. I see. I was so focused on how to overcome the security system. But that's not right. I need to change my perspective and think about who could have overcome it.
Don't box yourself in with your own assumptions.
Okay, I'll give it a shot.
I hate when the anemic vampire tells us what to do. But if Master wants to, then fine. I'll lend you my power. Lay it all out, Master.
I still find this so surreal, being an actual part of the gameplay. Let's see. Shinigami puzzle! Ah! Let's see, what am I looking for?
Let's work together as a team.
Is capable. Wait. It can't be. I'm a pal. Oh,
Nice. Great. Nice. Go, go,
Hey,
go.
come back here.
A new route appeared.
Yay! This is all thanks to me.
Perhaps I said too much. Well, nothing has been solved yet.
I wish you'd express yourself a little better. How can we tell if you're happy or sad?
I've never been happy or sad in my entire life.
I kind of doubt that.
I wanna die someday.
This guy's hopeless!
Anyway, let's explore this new route.
Hmm?
Reasoning deathmatch?
When you think about who could get past security, the only option we know of is Amapal.
True, and that's how we were able to get through security ourselves.
But it's just a toy robot, right? How is it related to the case?
I don't know yet, but since Amapal can get through security, it must be important.
It's sealed off here, too.
Hey, there's an intercom. Maybe someone will respond if you use it.
No way. Huh? Doctor?
Huh? Wait. What the? Wait. Who are you? Help! Somebody come help me!
Isn't this the footage of when the doctor was attacked?
Yeah, you're right.
The mystery materialized. Must be related to what the doctor just said.
Who are you?
So the question is, who did the doctor say, "Who are you?" to? Well, I'll leave it to you.
I don't get how you can keep reading at a time like this.
I can certainly understand why you'd want to choose that. But wasn't security active at that point? I considered all the various possibilities, but I couldn't figure out a way to get past the security. If I'm right, then there is no basis to infer that someone had entered the doctor's lab at this point, which means you can't say the doctor was directing those words to the culprit.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Oh, that's unexpected.
The trap didn't activate. Does that mean we found the right answer? Huh? So the right answer is no one? Why would the doctor say, "Who are you?" if no one was there?
The security was still active at the time, so no one could enter the doctor's lab, right? And that was before I borrowed Amapel. So the only explanation is that no one was there.
Why would he say that if no one was there?
I think if we go there, we'll find the answer.
What? That route's obviously just a side road. Who cares what the old geezer was thinking anyway?
But it looks like this is the only way we can go. Besides, I am curious about what was going through his mind. It could be an important factor in solving the mystery behind this.
Still, being forced to take a side route is too much trouble. Makes me wish I was dead.
Hmm? Hmm? So, Master, do you have an idea about what the geezer was thinking?
Not yet, but I think it has to do with why he said, "Who are you?" I think the doctor was putting on an act.
An act? Really?
The doctor put on an act for a reason, but I have no idea why. We have to figure that out by going down this doctor's motive route.
You again.
He's here too?
You rats keep scurrying around. Do you really think you'll discover Dr. Weska's motive this way? Good luck with that, morons! He had no motive at all!
Well, he said there's nothing here. Let's head back.
We can't do that! If he's trying to block our path, then this route must be important.
Nah,
I'm only here because you maggots piss me off. So, I'm gonna end you here and now! This was all
The doctor's notes. Photo. Email records of Dr. Chris. Yeah, this is probably it.
part of the doctor's plan. He didn't have a plan at all. That exchange on the intercom wasn't an act. There was no reason to put on a show. The doctor misunderstood.
What?
You probably don't know this. Weska put his soul into his work. The research was going well. The doctor was loyal to Amaterasu.
This is the truth! No! The doctor was planning on betraying Amaterasu Corporation. He was trying to escape Kanai Ward. He said so in the messages he wrote.
You little...
That was surprisingly quick. I expected him to put up more of a fight.
Yomi's rebuttal? What was that? What was he trying to deny? Why was he covering up the doctor's motives?
it seems that this case involves the inner workings of Amaterasu.
Right. The doctor was going to betray Amaterasu, and whoever he was emailing knew that. So the doctor locked himself in the lab to protect himself from that person.
Perhaps the doctor's act had something to do with that.
Oi! Well, that was sudden.
It's the security gate. Everything's locked up.
Which means this is a complex problem. We have to choose the right door and insert the correct solution key.
This is way more hassle than before. Guess I'll leave it to you, Yuma.
As always.
Oh!
Swapping places, blackout. Terrorist bombing?
This is bad. This isn't the right solution key?
Calm down, Master. And check the contents of each solution key.
Only the doctor knew the details of the plan, so it should be in his notes.
Wait. Wait a minute.
Oh, the door actually opened. I knew I could let Yuma handle it.
Are you sure you aren't a phantom?
The Phantom of the Labyrinth. Now there's a new play.
So the doctor tried to swap places with someone else to escape from Amaterasu. The notes he left behind in the lab hinted at his plan.
You mean the diagram with the sulfuric acid being poured on someone?
Yeah, he was going to swap places with a corpse, then melt it with acid. He wanted to disfigure it beyond recognition. That's how he planned to fake his own death.
At the very least, it'd buy him enough time to escape Kanai Ward. Or so he thought.
Wow! Melting a corpse with sulfuric acid? Yay! So cool and grotesque! So who is the substitute supposed to be?
Maybe the hitman. The doctor was under surveillance by Amaterasu, but he was still looking for a chance to escape. When he learned a hitman was after him, he figured his chance had arrived. The doctor was hoping to use the security system to kill the hitman and use the body as a decoy.
Now that I think about it, the doctor did seem to be waiting for the hitman to arrive.
The hitman hasn't arrived yet. When will he show up? Don't tell me this so-called first-rate hitman was captured by peacekeepers.
That explains way too much why he would lock himself in instead of trying to get out sooner.
But the hitman never did show up. That's why the doctor had a sudden change of plans.
And that was the act he put on by asking, "Who are you?"
Perhaps that was a trap to lure you in, Yuma.
He was trying to lure Master?
He considered taking advantage of the detectives, since the hitman never showed up. So if he called for help, he would charge into the lab, not knowing anything about the security system, and thereby acquire the corpse he needed as his decoy.
That seems overly complicated. Like those guys who overthink asking girls out.
Well, he couldn't have used another researcher. Someone would have noticed their absence. He needed visitors, people from outside to pull it off.
Wait. The picture, people from outside.
So if I didn't know about the security and had rushed into the lab...
You'd be a super sexy skeleton right now.
What?
Aw, so close.
You want that?
But the doctor's plan failed, and he actually got boom killed by the hitman. I get what he was trying to do, but what about the impossible murder?
Assuming the attack on the doctor was just an act when we saw him through the intercom, we at least know for sure the real attack hadn't happened yet.
In other words, the culprit entered the lab after that exchange. So the problem is, when did they actually enter?
Where are we?
What?
This place is a real mystery. Then again, I suppose that checks out.
Huh? Shinigami?
Yeah! Master, this looks like an important turning point!
I love how this game still finds a way to surprise me. At this point, I'm quite used to your shenanigans, but it's a nice surprise regardless whenever you decide to pop something new out of nowhere.
So, is that your final answer?
I haven't said anything yet!
Master, you need to narrow down the timing for when the culprit got inside. Now then, here's our fateful fork in the road. It's life or death! We are at the crossroads of mystery and solution. This earth-shattering choice may be your last. Now, Master, which one will you choose?
When I directed Amapal to go into the doctor's lab, he already had a knife stuck in him. Which means he was murdered before Amapal entered the doctor's lab.
Your answer? Is Congratulations, Master! Would you like to double down?
What are you talking about? Anyway, let's keep going.
I would like to call a friend instead.
Little by little, we're narrowing down when the culprit entered.
Yeah, but we still don't know how yet. It had to be between when we spoke to the doctor over the intercom and when Amapal entered his lab. During that time, the culprit entered the doctor's lab and murdered him.
So the most likely time would be when you went to borrow Amapal, Master. The culprit had to have entered the lab then.
But Fubuki waited at the front chamber while Desuhiko and I went to borrow Amapal. She said no one entered or left the lab.
Wait. Unless it was a co-conspirator already inside the lab. I mean, assuming that the current deduction is accurate, then did he get betrayed by his co-conspirator?
Huh? We're back on the original path.
Maybe you're supposed to try opening that door now.
I'm sure that from here on out, it's not just about when, but also how the culprit got in. Yuma, there's no need to push yourself if things get too hard.
No, I can do it. I'm going to solve it.
This is a map of the critical lab.
So we have to determine where the culprit was before the murder.
We'll have to solve them one at a time. Let's start with this mystery.
If we know where the culprit was before they got in, this route will be clear too. Do you know where? As long as the security was still live, no one could enter the doctor's room, don't you think?
Yes.
It can't be.
Here.
The culprit must have been here.
Oh, okay. I actually didn't believe my deduction, which was they were already hiding in the vents.
Yay! It opened!
After the exchange on the intercom, given there was always a detective at the front chamber, when we went to borrow Amapal, the culprit had to have already made their way inside. But the airlock is the only location that isn't affected by the security system. There, the culprit had to be inside that decontamination device before committing the crime.
Yeah.
By the way, but I thought he was just hiding in there to avoid being spotted after the crime. So you think the culprit was in there before the crime too?
Yeah, the culprit was waiting for their chance. But we had no idea when we sent Amapel into the airlock.
And from there, Yuma, you guided Amapal to the doctor's lab. So the culprit entered the doctor's lab before then? How would that be possible? Only Amapal could get past security, right?
Yeah, that's the next big question.
Maybe the culprit used another Amapal unit.
No, the researcher mentioned there was only one functioning Amapal.
Which means the Amapal Yuma controlled was the only one that could get past security.
So the culprit must have taken advantage of Master's Amapal to get into the doctor's lab.
Yeah, that's the only way. But how did they use it? There's no solving the doctor's murder until we figure that out.
Oh!
I have an idea.
I get it now.
Will you hear me out?
What is it?
How about giving up? I'm getting tired.
Nope, motion denied.
I get it now, because the Amapel cannot move when it has its arms extended, so at the time I turned it off,
Another fork in the road?
they squeezed
Such a
through the
complicated
tight
mystery
door and
labyrinth.
stabbed the doctor to death.
Beyond each problem lies the truth. We're definitely getting closer to the heart of this mystery.
As
Huh?
a guide would be
What do
kind
you
of
mean?
accurate.
Use Amapal as a shield?
Amapal is supposed to be sturdy enough to withstand an elephant stepping on it, right? The culprit may have used Amapal as a shield against the security system.
So, the culprit followed behind Amapal to avoid the toxic gas and explosions?
I get it! You're so smart, Master!
Really? I don't think so.
Hey! Master just showed off how smart and logical he is. Master wasn't smart after all! Come on, take it from the top!
It's gonna crush us!
What?
Yes!
Really? What? Huh? What? What do you mean, no?
Yeah! Even if Amapel itself is fine, it wouldn't be able to protect the culprit from the toxic gas.
Are you fucking kidding me? Semantic. Oh, come on. Really? You weren't clear on your question there. No.
Even though Amapel is sturdy, it couldn't withstand the high voltage shock from the panel chamber. Which means it'd be impossible to use Amapel to protect yourself.
You're only realizing this now. At this rate, you'll be a grandpa before you stop being a rookie.
Perhaps you will improve in the next life.
I'm trying my best in this life.
I'm trying my best in this life. Oh, quite relatable words.
Do you think neither is really the right answer?
Given the process of elimination, that must be it. Amapel's hands aren't designed to hold anything, so it couldn't use the knife to murder the doctor. Which means Amapel wasn't the murder weapon, and the culprit couldn't have used it as a shield. It can't neutralize the toxic gas, and the high voltage shock will destroy it.
So then, how did the culprit use Amapel?
I think we'll find out if we continue down this path.
Huh? That was the wrong answer? Come on, Master! Huh?
We've been here before. It looks like we've been brought back.
But the door we opened earlier is closed again. Why's that?
Yeah, I wonder why.
Where was the culprit before the
Huh?
crime?
Even the question is the same. Does that mean we gotta do it all over again?
Well, the logic is still sound. There's no other hiding spot for the culprit besides the airlock.
So you want to choose the same answer and keep going?
If you do, you'll just repeat the whole process again. We'll just be brought back here if we can't figure out how did the culprit use Amapel. And I refuse to walk any more than I have to.
Hey, don't sit down!
What should I do?
Stand up! Stand up right now!
Stop it. Leave me alone.
If you want me to leave you alone, then help my useless master out!
Fine. Just one thing then. We're back at where was the culprit before the crime? Because you're stuck at how did the culprit use Amapel? With that in mind, these two questions are connected.
Connected? Both the culprit's location and how Amapel was used?
Help him out more! More!
The culprit was hiding in the airlock, where you also left the robot, right? At that moment, only the culprit and Amapel were there. So maybe the culprit did something.
The culprit did something to Amapel?
Clues are always there, right under your nose. It's a detective's job to notice them. Did you notice anything strange back then? Any tiny detail?
Oh yeah!
Try to remember.
When it first entered, there was a moment where it kind of glitched out. But then, what if someone had jumped on top of it?
Something strange. Hey, now that you mention it, back then...
Hey, the screen lit up. So this is what Amapel sees. It's like the cockpit of a mecha. Whoa, what was that? Did it break already? I thought it was state of the art. No, it's all right. It's stabilized. There was a moment when the camera stopped functioning while I was controlling Amapel. It returned to normal pretty quick, but maybe...
See? I told you it was right under your nose. You don't need any additional help from me, right?
That was a clue to help solve this mystery?
Actually, everything in this world is a key to solving mysteries. You just haven't noticed them.
Well, he's not wrong, considering that's kind of how science works in figuring out how everything works, essentially.
Perhaps there is more you're overlooking. Was there anything else unusual?
Something unusual. Something I missed.
Anything else? It's not like Amapel's camera showed the culprit.
Wait, that's it!
Huh?
Now that I think about it, wasn't that strange? The culprit must have gotten ahead of Amapel, but why didn't they ever show up on the camera? If the culprit went past Amapel to enter the doctor's lab, they would have been spotted for sure.
Now that you mention it...
But nobody showed up on camera. How did the culprit manage to pull that off? How can you move from the airlock to the doctor's lab without appearing even once on Amapel's camera?
Hey, aren't you just adding another mystery?
No. All the pieces are here.
Huh?
Yuma, the mysteries you face now can be solved with a single answer.
Oh god, don't tell me they jump on top of the armor pile while wearing a hazmat suit. That looks so dopey, but I can't deny that is a smart way to plan something. Aside from the fact that it relies solely on the detectives being here.
A single answer?
Sheesh. I talk too much.
Whoa, one mystery after another! What'll you do now? It's a Pandora's box of mysteries!
Let's stay calm and think about it. There's plenty of time.
Not anymore.
Or not. I'll keep reading while you wrap things up.
Remember what he said, Master. All it takes is one answer to solve these mysteries. Use those weak brain cells of yours and think!
Culprit's location. Amapel's usage. Its malfunction. Why didn't the culprit appear on camera? All this can be solved with just one answer?
Got it! The culprit rode on Amapel's head, using it as a method of transportation.
The problem now is though,
The door opened!
the poison trap. This also implies they were wearing a hazmat suit or a bomb suit.
With every open door, it will be harder for you to turn back. Are you sure you want to keep going?
Absolutely! I will find the truth no matter what. This is for the Nocturnal Detective Agency.
Hey, you said the culprit rode on top of Amapel. What did you mean by that?
Literally what I said. The culprit rode Amapel and used it to get through. After we left Amapel in the airlock, the culprit came out of the decontamination device. Then they jumped on Amapel's head. The disruption in the footage was from the impact.
That's insane.
Is it? I think it's fairly reasonable. Amapal can withstand up to 100 kilograms of weight. So, someone riding on it shouldn't affect its functionality.
That's actually really true. I mean, I'm not exactly skinny, and even so, I'm still somewhere around 70 something kilograms at best. Or maybe I'm thinking pounds. Shite. I really should relearn the metric system. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm something like 70 kilos? Ah. Oh, well, it doesn't matter. I'm less than 100 kilograms. Let's just go with that. And for reference, I'm not skinny. Except for my limbs. For some reason. I don't know, all my fat goes to my stomach for some reason.
The shoe print on Amapal's head wasn't caused by someone kicking it. It was left there from the culprit hopping on and off.
After that, the culprit simply rode on it as it moved toward the doctor's lab. By doing so, the culprit was able to evade the camera and remain hidden as they made their way through the lab.
You're right. If it's true, then it does solve all of the previous mysteries. Imagining the culprit riding on a robot makes me laugh.
Don't worry, me too. The utter absurdity of how well that works out actually makes me chuckle as well.
But Yuma, have you not realized it? You're still missing something. One major mystery remains.
What's with that huge sigh?
The greatest mystery of this case should appear soon. Just the thought of it gets me feeling down.
I'm guessing it's how the culprit survived the poison
This
gas
case's
chamber.
greatest mystery?
Ah, not again.
This is the panel chamber.
That means the doctor's lab is just beyond it. If we can get through here, we'll reach the goal, yeah? Is this the greatest mystery you mentioned?
I highly doubt that.
Not exactly what I was envisioning.
Well, this is the mystery to be solved, so let's clear it out.
Beats me.
While opening the door. Yep, that's the answer. However, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to end it here, so thank you very much for watching. I sincerely hope you enjoyed Master Detective Archives. I sincerely hope you'll consider giving me your viewership in the future sometime. And with that is honestly funny as hell. Oh boy. It's creative. I'll give them that much. It's kind of like the equivalent of someone riding on top of a Roomba to commit a murder. But anyway, with that as an ending note, and please do like, comment, subscribe down below if it pleases you to do so, or if you're feeling charitable. And with that, I bid you all bye bye.